What's up, everybody? Celtic Scarecrow here, back with our video. Get those 10s and 20 views. A video a day. Yes, you heard me right. A video a day. Why? I'm gonna do each NFL divisions predictions. So to get them all out before the season starts, and college football, because I am gonna do the Notre Dame Fighting Irish as well. Yeah, kind of have to do it. So buckle in. We are gonna go North, NFC, AFC, East, AFC, NFC, AFC, South, West. That's how it's going to be. So it's going to be North, North, South, South, etc., etc. That's how it's going to be. We are starting off with the NFC North. So I need to change this slightly up, and there it is. We're starting off with the Minnesota Vikings. I definitely know there's going to be at least one person happy I'm starting with the Vikings. Vikings. Also, by the way, these predictions are purely on research. Basically, whatever I saw on Twitter or ESPN when I slowly had it on, and yeah, that's how I'm going to do it. I'm not going to have all four teams up at the end. I'm just going to do, here's what I think your schedule could be. Here's your base, here's your best case, and here's your worst case. So I think with the Vikings, it's a lot going to turn out to, can your defense be decent? And is J.J. McCarthy the guy? So with that being said, I also do need up. Okay, of course, nothing where I want it to be. Alright, starting off, you are facing the Chicago Bears. I'm not sure how good you're going to be, but I do think you are better than Chicago. Moving on to the Atlanta Falcons. Tough game, tough game. I'm going to give it to Atlanta. I'm giving it to Atlanta. Moving on to the Bengals. Wow, this is a tough start, Minnesota. I don't know how good your defense is. I don't know how good their defense is. But if Joe Burrow is healthy and that offense is healthy, I'm giving the slight edge to the Bengals. Moving on to Pittsburgh. You know what? I'm going to give you a win. You're going to beat Aaron Rodgers. You're going to feel better about yourself. I think both teams are about at the same point-ish. So, there's that. Moving on to the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to have you win that game. It's at Cleveland, I know. But I think as an overall team, Minnesota is better than Cleveland. I'll get to Cleveland tomorrow. Week 6 bye. That's a little early. That's a little early. And at the bye, you are 3-2. Coming off the bye versus the Eagles, I think that's a loss. Chargers. I think it's a winnable game. I'm 50-50. If I'm thinking about it, I'm going to give you the loss. No, what? Seeing how the schedule's going up, changing that to a win. I think you're probably getting swept by the Lions. Sorry. You're Baltimore, better team. The Bears. I can see you sweeping the Bears. I can see you splitting with the Packers, so it's at Green Bay, so there's a loss. Versus Seattle, you're about the same, so I'll give you the win. Washington, I think they're a little bit better. That's a loss. Dallas, I think you're that middle of the road. Could be a late playoff team. Could be a very top 10 draft pick team. Dallas, win. Giants, I think you're really close to the Giants, so I'll give you the win. Detroit lost, and you're ending the season on a win against Green Bay, which means you are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What's that? 9-8? 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9 and 8 for the Packers. Packers. Yes, go ahead, roast me. I said Packers. For the Vikings. Stupid button on. No, no. My computer's acting funny. That button I need to press. Okay. Sorry. Small scuff. Yeah, so 9-8 as your base. Very good, very good. That's might not give you a playoffs. To be honest, it should be right around the playoff. Your ceiling. Looking at the schedule, you figure you split one with the. If you can somehow split with Detroit, that gets you up to 10 wins. I'm trying to think who else I gave you a loss to. Bengals is an unknown, and the Falcons are an unknown. So you figure your ceiling's probably looking at 11 and 6, and your worst case scenario, is probably like 6 and 11. So I have you guys right around the same as the Carolina Panthers. Your team that could take the next step forward and start becoming that fringe playoff team, maybe gets in, get that experience, and as the other teams around you start to take that step back, you take the step forward, and next thing you know, you're now the team of the division. Unfortunately for you, Green Bay still has a young quarterback. Now he's looking pretty good. Detroit can honestly replace their quarterback with a rookie, and that offense will probably still click. Good news is, Chicago's still in your division. I have zero faith in them. Moving on to the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay. Now, Green Bay, another year, Jordan Love. Haven't watched much of Tom's videos. So I think you kind of relatively stayed the same. Didn't really change too much. So that's how I'm kind of looking at you guys. Honestly, I starting off against Detroit. No, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna have you. I think you can split with Detroit. I think it's gonna be a very fun game. If you don't end the season against the Lions, that's a disappointment. Like, that's a disappointment. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a good, hard-fought game, very winnable. Don't know how Detroit's gonna come out the rip with it. Playing Washington, with everything that's going on with Washington, I think you guys probably can sneak out a win there. Moving on to Cleveland. Gotta make sure everything's in frame. Yep, I'm gonna get a win there. It's one of those things where it's like, I think the upper half of the league will beat Cleveland. I think they're about that middle ground of, if Flacco plays amazing, they'll be very good in that division. If Dylan Gabriel comes in and plays very good, they can win that division. If Shore Sanders comes in and plays very good, they could potentially get a wild card spot. Like, if any of their quarterbacks plays well, I think the Browns can do it. The issue is Flacco's old, rookie. Moving on to Dallas. For some reason, you guys have Dallas's number to win. So going into the bye, you are 4-0. The Bengals. I'm gonna have the Bengals be your first loss. I think they have the offensive firepower to go at it with you, and it's still early, so it won't be any snow to slow anybody down. At Arizona, I've heard nothing about Arizona, so I'm gonna give you the win. Pittsburgh. I'm gonna give Pittsburgh the win. It's Aaron Rodgers. He knows the team. It's the Steelers, so they're going to play good defense. So I think they'll hold him in check. It's one of those things where it's like they play good defense, and if Aaron Rodgers just does what he did last year, which was equal to Patrick Mahomes statistically, I think they'll win. The Carolina Panthers, my favorite team. This is a toss-up game. I know that sounds odd. It's one of those things where if Bryce Young's clicking and we get any form of defense, we're gonna be in the game. I think we'll be in the game. I'm gonna give you the win. I don't want to, but I'm gonna give you the win. Eagles again. I don't want to, but I'm gonna give you a little loss. Eagles are very good. Green Bay, not Green Bay. Giants win. Minnesota. I had you split with them, so this was in Minnesota, so that's a loss. At Detroit, that's a loss. I think you sweep the Bears. We don't know anything. Green Bay beats the Bears. At the Broncos. I'm going to have that as a trap game. Because you're playing the Bears twice, so it's a loss. Beat them. Lose them there, and lose out. Wow, okay, so you went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, another 9 and 18 for the baseline score for your season, which again is good, not where you kind of want to be. Your ceiling I have a lot higher because it's like you could sweep the Vikings. I had you losing to Pittsburgh, which is a very winnable game. I think I had you losing to the Bengals. It's like there are a lot of winnable games. I definitely will see your ceiling at 13-4. And at your worst case scenario for your team, let's say, unfortunately, Love goes down. Unfortunately, I am not wishing harm. The only injuries that are acceptable is someone punches a player in the helmet because that's your own stupidity, or you get hit in the nuts. And get up and walk away. That's just so funny. Worst case scenario, in worst case scenario, you can easily start off 0-4, 0-5, realistically. So I think in worst case scenario, you guys could easily be 4-13. It's just like, I don't see many games I just say, yes, 100% to win. Like, the Cardinals is an unknown factor. My team, unknown factor. The Giants, is Jackson Dart and Cam Scaboo going to vitalize that offense? That might be like one. Like, yes, you got the Bears. We played them twice in 3 weeks. But yeah, it could easily go downhill for Green Bay. Moving on to the Detroit Lions, reigning champs, Super Bowl hopefuls, of starting off against the Packers. Realistically, they're good enough to sweep the Packers. I'm going to do the same thing I did last time. Split the division round. So at a loss is at Green Bay. I easily think you can sweep the Bears. At Baltimore. Toss-up game. It's one of those games where I think I'm going to give it to them. Give it to Baltimore. That's a loss. Okay. Next up is at Cleveland. I already gave my spiel on Cleveland. Versus Cincinnati. You have the defense to win. I'm not worried about you there. Kansas City. Super Bowl preview? Maybe. I'm giving you the win. I like your defense. I think you can bully their offensive line. Until proven otherwise, that line is sus. Tampa Bay. Win. You know what? I'm going to have you lose. And I'll tell you why. Make sure you get the right letters in. Big emotional win off beating Kansas City. He's like, you want a tough little run. You beat the Bengals. You beat the Chiefs. You you lost to Baltimore, but you had a loss, and your bye's about to happen. Trap game. That's why I have you losing to Tampa. A week 8 bye. Great bye week. Great bye week. I think I had you split with the Vikings in theirs. Well, I don't think it's so. Win versus Washington. A win versus the Eagles. Winnable game. I'm going to give you a loss to keep you humble, but very winnable game. Packers. I said you split, so you split. Cowboys win. Rams. If realistically, I don't know. I'm going to win because I don't know how Stafford's going to hold up. He's already had like back-to-back now. Pittsburgh lost. It's goddamn Aaron Rodgers came out of nowhere. Vikings at Minnesota win and at Chicago win. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 6. Good start. That's a very high baseline to go with. And like some of these games I gave you as like a meh game. So easily go 15 and 2. 15-2, 16-1 even I could see, but no perfect season. You have a tough season. You will not go perfect. Just for the fact that like you do have to play Washington, which was a win away from the Super Bowl. The Bucks, who are a sneaky Super Bowl contender. The Chiefs been to 3 straight Super Bowl. Baltimore is a Super Bowl contender. So it's like you have a couple legit Super Bowl contenders. Like Minnesota, who knows? Pittsburgh, they think Aaron Rodgers can get them over that hump. Probably can't. Rams are a legit Super Bowl contender. Eagles won the Super Bowl. The Commanders were a game away. The Bucks are really close. The Chiefs are always there. The Bengals are always there. But I think in a worst case scenario, you probably go 8 and what's that? 8 and 12, 8 and 5. No. 8 and 9? 8 and 9? Yeah. 8 and 9 as your worst case scenario. Like sub 500, yes, but not like worst team in the league 500. And last and certainly least, I will rip the Chicago Bears as much as I want. I know the Bears fans still are trying to say that they got the better end of the trade. They got the Chicago Bears. Now, off the jump with the Bears, I still don't think Caleb Williams is going to be that great a quarterback. Simplefoot, he had some of the best receivers and players around him on offense at USC. And he lost often against better quality teams. Now, can Ben Johnson come in, get him to stop playing hero ball all the time, get him to learn to throw from a pocket? Maybe. It's plausible. Stranger things have happened. But starting off season against the Dolphins is a loss. I like my... nope, sorry, that's preseason. That's preseason, which they tied. Starting off the seasons against the Vikings. Loss. I had to lose to them first. I think you get swept by the Lions. You might be able to split with the Vikings. Cowboys. This is a 50-50 game. I'm gonna give it to Chicago. I actually like Caleb Williams. I like Dak Prescott. Raiders. We know nothing about them, so they still suck. Bye week at week 5. That's a bad bye week. Too early. At Washington, loss. At New Orleans, very winnable game. What's going on with their quarterback situation? So that is a win there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Baltimore, loss. Sorry, Baltimore's just the better team. They're going to go for Super Bowl chances, much like the Bengals. So that's also a loss. This should be the game. If I'm judging Caleb Williams and the Bears, this is the game. Right here. Highlight it. Week 10. Why? Giants defense is not that bad. You got Brian Burns. You got a couple of great players on defense. They just drafted Jackson Dart, who was a lot like Caleb Williams. Size, arm, mobility. And they got a back. So it's a very much two teams at the same point. New coaches. Let's see what's going on. So because of that, I'm going to give you... I'm going to give you the win. I do not like the Giants' offensive line. Vikings at Minnesota. Loss. Pittsburgh. You unfortunately do not beat Aaron Rodgers still. Eagles, loss. I think you split with the Packers as a loss there. Browns. Another game, very winnable. I'm going to have you win this one, just for the argument's sake. The Bears versus the Packers in Green Bay, loss. Niners, loss. Yeah, I'm not high on things with Chicago. Just that's the open. I think you need a little bit more offensive line help. I think you need a little more defensive line help. Caleb Williams needs to take that next step. This is the same criticism I had with Bryce. You got to take that next step. Get better. But it's still only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. 5 and 12 as your base score. Yeah. Best case scenario. Your best case scenario. Ben Johnson is the genius. He was the driving force behind the Lions. He connected with Caleb Williams just like Canellis worked with Bryce Young. It all goes great. You split with the Packers. You somehow beat Aaron Rodgers. You split with the Vikings. I can easily see you guys being at your best 9 and 8. Like I said, winnable games. No faith in that team yet. Worst case scenario is, of course, 1 and 16. Hate when that typically long. Worst case scenario is 1 and 16. And that one is literally New Orleans. That's the only game I would feel confident about. Who knows what's going on with their quarterback? Their defense is still like, they kind of have some stuff. I can see every team beating you. Realistically, I could put 0 and 17, but that rarely happens. You do have the Raiders, which are there. There's a couple, depending on how well they are. Will depend on that. But, so with that being said, I have winning this division. Based off base score, not best case, not worst case, is the Detroit Lions. Can Green Bay and Minnesota both make the playoffs at 9 and 8? It is very unlikely. Plausible, but unlikely. But yeah, I have Detroit winning the North. Like I said, the ceiling, most realistic ceiling, though, I definitely think could be more Minnesota, though. Like, J.J. McCarthy looked good last year in preseason, got hurt. Sam Darnold came in and drove that offense downfield. And now you have the quarterback that you wanted to do this with a year of sitting and learning. I think their ceiling's the best case, and in the worst case scenario, I see it easily Chicago. But that's it. Tell me how you think the NFC North is going to go. I do know one comment's going to come in. But yeah, stay tuned tomorrow where I'll be doing the AFC North. Until then, see you weird people later.